What's going on? Rob here, Trev2323. Just waking up now, about to tackle a project here. We're looking at replacing our old sink here. Man, I don't know where I'm focused at right now. Sorry about that. I'm just waking up, drinking my coffee, put a hat on so you don't see my messy hair. What I'm looking at doing here is we have the sink right here. I haven't got a new one because it was period correct. Yeah, right, because I'm cheap. But you know what? We're 22 years later, we want the water coming out of one. And this is my wife's, all this bear stuff is my wife. My wife is a die-hard Bears fan. This actually was hand-painted for her from my father. She's a big Forte fan. Don't get all mad and everything, whoever, whatever. But either way, we're replacing this. I've shown before how to pack these right here, valves. And my project today, what I'm trying at, or what I'm going to be doing, is I got to remove all this caulk here. All this caulk right here that's holding it back. Because I don't know if this is like the urinals that, they have the little hooks on the back that you put in the studs and then you attach the urinal on that. Or if there's a little lip in here and it's attached to the studs, which I'm hoping not. I'm hoping I could just peel the caulk off right here. And then if it gets a little bit loose, then I'll be able to, unconnect the bottom and lift it up. Another thing on the bottom that I wanted you to show you. All right, what I'm going to be replacing here is this is actually 1/2-inch pipe. And the new sink has 1/4-inch pipe. So I bought a slip washer to just the washer itself. It goes in here, but it makes it from 1/4-inch to 1/2-inch. So that's real easy to fix right there, replace. Now, these are the galvanized pipes coming out the basement. The bad thing with this bathroom, the house was built in 1910, is all these pipes in the wall, the showers, the toilet, everything is connected together. So with the hot water, I've already started replacing, going from galvanized to brass to copper for the hot water. So I got shut-off valves for the hot water that I could just shut off the hot water right now. But the cold water on this side, I still have to shut off the main for the house just to work on this right here. So I am going to put a little shut-off valve right here. Once I put these on, there's not too much room that I have to work with. Well, it's getting really dark there. Not too much room that I have to work with. I'll light this up when I'm working at it. You can see the back of this and feel the back of it, but I can't feel or see anything because it's just painted and it's just dirty and mucky up there. So like I said, my goal right now is to peel all the caulk off and see where I'm going to have to go. The new sink comes up about this high right here. So if this wall is okay, probably just some sanding and painting. And hopefully if this is into the wall, then I'll have to drywall it. So I'm going to put the camera on the mount and start peeling off the caulk, alright? Alright, I always preach the right tool for the right job. But I couldn't find any of my damn box cutters. So I got a razor blade right now and my trusty work knife right here with my Rob engraved on it. But you know what? I keep it nice and sharp. It's an M-Tech. I do keep it nice and sharp. What I'm going to try to do is start from one side and get a nice line across the other side. Let me back this up so I got it really close. And this new camera, I'm still trying to figure out why it gets so... trying to figure out why it's so close this way, I'm backing out a whole lot. Okay, I'm going to fast forward through everything, but I'm going to try to get a nice cut right across it. It did cut all the way through on one. I just got to try to get it kind of off. Here it goes. See with the knife coming off? Bad thing is I got another piece of caulk underneath there also. There it goes, coming off. I'm into the wall because you could tell there's the plaster right there. So I'm actually behind the wall right there, so behind the sink. So now if I get this all the way around, I should be able to kind of move the sink. And if I could get the sink to move, that means it's just on the two hinges back there like a urinal. So I'm going to shut the camera off, keep going all the way around this, then I'll put it back on when I'm close to the end of getting this caulk off, alright? So I'm about 3 minutes in right now. going through it with the razor blade wasn't even worth it. As long as you push it with the knife on the front. And then I am going to have to do some wall repair because this sink waves anyways. I was looking at it anyways. So I'm going to have to do some wall repair. There'll be another video after I get the sink in. But I had to actually come down on the wall like this and then come in this way. And that's what's been working. I still got this other side to do over here. So like I said, I come down on the wall like this and come in like this, and it pretty much comes out. But it seems like it's just hooked on because, you know, I'll scrape it all out with a little scraper after I get everything completely off. But I can see behind the sink right here. Okay, so I got all the caulk off. You can see behind here, you're getting back here pretty good, and I'm starting to get around through here. What I switched to was a chisel and a hammer to try to break, because it is plaster back there that's dried. So with this right here, it's actually getting back there pretty good. It's breaking the plaster. So I'm sure the plaster is probably falling on the floor. Yeah, it's falling on the floor. I did plug up the sink also. So, you know, I really don't know if I'm going to take this off yet today. I'm just kind of assessing the situation on how hard this is going to be to come off. Alright, there's something hard in there. When I get out of work, little by little, I just happen to be off today. I could probably finish it in one day, but I'm just actually taking my time doing this as a side job in my own home as I'm painting the outside of my house too. After my next step after doing this, I would actually go ahead and shut the hot water off and take off the hot water line and put the little valve underneath for the hot water line. And if that goes smooth, I'll shut the valve off for the cold water line. I mean, there's 3 other sinks in the house for us to use. I'll shut the valve off for the cold water line, put the shut off for the cold water line on, because one thing that I'm going to have to do also is, I didn't say in the video from before, is there is a decorative baseboard on the bottom. Now this sink's been like this with nothing on the bottom for so many years. So what we're going to do, what I'm going to do is the sink base that goes in here is straight down and it has a brace across the back. So when I line it up where it's going to be, I'm going to draw a pencil line there and a pencil line there, and then I'm actually going to cut off the section of baseboard in between so it can sit flush against there, is what I'm going to do. Alright, well, I'm going to keep breaking that off right now, and I'll come back to you in a bit. Okay, now I got it cut off all the way around here. I chiseled it, broke everything loose, so there's nothing holding on. But to hit the back, you're going to want a mallet to hit the back. Because if you hit it with a hammer, you're going to chip the porcelain, and if you want to sell it or reuse, not reuse it, but sell it, if you use a hammer, you're going to damage it, so you use a mallet. And don't tap it too hard. Now, all I want to do is loosen it to see what's holding it back there, if it's just the little hooks like urinals or whatever. I don't want to get it off because the water lines ain't cut yet. So I just want to see if I can get it to move a little bit, alright? I'm going to use this mallet because this mallet is a little bit heavier. Watch your toes, this thing is heavy. It's moving. Yeah. If I disconnect the lines, there's probably 2 hooks right here that's holding on. There's supposed to be screws. See, I'm moving it already. I'm moving it, just moving it now. This actually just like popped off the years of dust and rust. There's probably one thing right here and one thing right here. There's supposed to be screws underneath. Let me get a flashlight to show you. Alright, venture with me underneath here. Okay, now we're underneath here. There's supposed to be screws right here. Let me get a flashlight. That screwed into the wall. Somebody was a slacker and didn't screw it into the wall. What they did do really good is, it's like this is fabricated to fit there perfectly. Like a brake line, you can fabricate brake line. This is fabricated. Now this is 1/2 inch. I already measured it. And I got a 1/2 inch little nipple that comes up to the 1/2-inch shut off that comes out, so I can loop around the hose to go up there. Is actually what I'm gonna do. What I'm planning on. This is the hot water. This is gonna be the easier one. The cold water is the one that hopefully Murphy does not set in, because I gotta shut the main off. What? See, you can't really see up there, but I'm trying to look even for my camera, because if I put it on. But there should be some hooks that's holding it in place. Oh, there's a bar. See against the wall? There's a bar that is set on up there. See that metal bar? That's what it's set on up there. Okay, so I just gotta cut these lines and then lift it off that bar. But yeah, see, there's the bar right there. Alright, I switched to VGA. My screen's wider now, so I appreciate the wider screen. I'm about to take off that. I already shut off the hot water. So the hot water is off right here. Okay. I got 2 pipe wrenches. One to hold this part and one to hold this part and one to hold this part. So with this should stay still and this should turn counterclockwise. Okay. When I take that off, I'm gonna put the 1/2-inch nipple on with the shut off to stop it so I can turn the hot water back on. That big one is gonna connect to the new faucet, but I don't have to put that in yet. When you put this on, you should always use, this is Teflon tape. I prefer the Teflon tape, but believe it or not, I was looking all over it. I couldn't find it, so I had my pipe stick and my plumber's putty. I always have extra crap on hand. And there's the 2 pipe wrenches. Now, since I'm taking it off, I could really kind of just cut this off right here and then worry about unscrewing this right here. But I'm going to try to take it off first instead of just cutting it off. Oh man. I gotta back this off some, see if I can get you in view. And then I'm going to try to start working on it here. Excuse my shoes. I took my shoes off and my feet off. Not my feet off, but my shoes off. Try to get a little more comfortable underneath here. First thing I'm going to do is just with the little one, I'm going to see if I can back this out right here. There's no water. That supply is shut off already. Pipe wrenches are so much easier to use than pipe wrenches are a lot easier to use than, what the hell am I looking for? Regular pliers or box wrenches or anything like that. Just get yourself a good set of pipe wrenches. You get a lot more leverage with them, a lot more torque with them and everything anyways also. Okay, see, that's coming off already. I don't know if that's coming off or that's the paint that's coming off here. That's coming off already. I want to get into that 1/2-inch nipple because I do want to put a shutoff right here. The one shutoff that I have in the basement is to shut off the whole bathroom supply. So seeing that I'm changing this anyways, I would like to go ahead and put a shutoff right here, so this way if I have to do anything else to the system, I don't have to shut off the whole bathroom supply. I could just, you know, shut this off right here. You know, like the house is a 1910 house, so I prefer to put shutoffs everywhere that I can. Believe it or not, it looks like there's a nipple in here. Let's see what we got here. Okay, this right here is a copper bushing. It's gonna drip a little bit because there's water in this line right here. It's a copper bushing going into here. So I would have to take the top one down. And when the top one comes down, there's probably a copper bushing going in here also to pop that out. That was like fabricated and made just for that. I mean, that is a straight pipeline. Whoever did that plumbing line was really good. They got it right on point. It was exactly right where it's supposed to be. It's like kind of one of them brake lines. They made it just for this section. Trying to back off the top into, right now I'm working on backing off this all the way up top right here to pull this up and out. So you try to get that out of there. This is the main nipple right here though that I want to get out right here. This is a compression fitting. So I could actually probably just go from the line, compression line to here. But like I said, I want to put the shutoff in there. So far I'm able to get it, work with it with one pipe wrench. I don't need the other one to kind of hold it. That one came off really easy also after a couple things. That's off and that's off. Believe it or not, I'm gonna wind up cutting the line. I'm gonna have to cut the line because that is made just to go right in here and right in here. There's no flex. Oh, there it goes. Alright, so I don't want to break this. I'm going to cut that because I don't want to break the pipe going into the wall or that one to leak. Okay, what I wound up doing is I didn't actually cut it. I unscrewed this right here to lift the faucet up. I unscrewed that. I was able to lift the faucet up and the piece came out like this. So this is the next piece. I have to get this one off. Realistically, if I get this one off, I'll be able to put my nipple on that I want to try to get in there. Like I said, that was fabricated really good to fit perfect in there. Whoever did that, man, that was real good fabrication. Alright, now this one right here is the one going into the wall. So I gotta try to get this out of here. So if this don't twist off as easy as the other ones did, I'm gonna have to get something to hold this pipe. There it goes. It's coming off. Whew. Man, that almost looks like a 3/8 inch nipple, doesn't that? That's not a 1/2 inch nipple. That's a 1/2 inch nipple. So I gotta go downstairs see if I got a 3/8 inch nipple now. I always say buy extra, buy extra, buy extra. 3/8 inch nipple, 3/8 inch shutoff valve. So that's why I wanted to do the hot water first, because it don't affect the whole house. The cold water affects the whole house, so now I know I have to run to Menards and get another, well actually I got one more 3/8 inch nipple, but I don't got a 3/8 inch shutoff valve. So I can't even take that one off until I get another 3/8 inch shutoff valve. This is 3/8 inch regular pipe to 3/8 inch compression. And then the 3/8 inch compression goes to the end of the hose right here. And then that one goes to the faucet right there. But before you put this on, you should always put some Teflon tape in there. Always, always, always. And you have to remember which way to go. If you're tightening in on this way, you want the end of the tape to be right here this way. So when you tighten it, it gets the tape tighter. So I'm wrapping that. Hopefully that's the right way. I think it is though. And this is going to stop your water leaks. So that's why you want to put this in there, to stop the water leaks. Alright, it goes on there really good. See if I can still see it. They have smaller nipples, but I like getting a little bit, at least this size, so I could get some leverage in here with the pipe wrench. Alright. You just got to be snug when you're working on plumbing, and you don't got to bog it down as long as you got that Teflon tape and you get no leaks. Alright, now I got to put the Teflon tape on the top part to put the shutoff valve. And then here's the bad thing is where I hate working on pipes in the walls, because you got to turn your valve on, make sure you got no leaks from here, But on top of not having any leaks from here, you gotta check in the basement to see if anything's leaking out the wall. Now I really didn't do anything with this pipe, but you know, it is moving a little bit. So that's why you gotta check to see if there's anything with the wall. And actually I bought extra longer hose, and this is why I bought longer hose, because this is so close of a fitting. So I wanted the longer hose and this out sideways to get the loop in there. So I'm not trying to get it, you know, really tight close like that. I wanted the actual loop in there like that. Nice. Right now, what I'm going to check right now, see if I can see it. Okay, this would be open and this is in the closed position. I gotta leave it like this. It's sideways compared to this right here. It's not open. If you put it like that, that's open. That's closed, and that's imperative because I don't want to run downstairs and turn the hot water on and have that shoot. Now this is pretty snug, so I'm just going to try to turn this around to get that facing this way because that's where I wanted it at. It's like this would be tight enough, but that's where I wanted it right there. Okay, so I can see it. It is off. I'm gonna turn the water. I gotta check for a leak right here. Gotta check for a leak right here, and see if there's anything coming out the downstairs. Okay, the water is on. Now you have to check around for leaks. See, this is where you would check for a leak right here, and you would check for a leak right there. And there's no leaks. Hopefully the cold water is just going to be that smooth. Alright, so that's step one right there. I'm going to repeat the same process with step two, although I have to run to the store right now because I need another 3/8 inch to 3/8 inch compression out to the side like this. I'm going to look around downstairs first, but if I can't, I got to run to the store. Alright, I'll be back with you in a bit. Okay, so I'm back. I had to run to the store to grab some stuff here. It turned out the pipe itself, the crazy thing is I got a 1/2 inch pipe and the outside of the pipe is a 1/2 inch, like a regular 1/2 inch galvanized pipe. But this corner that goes up in here, and this looks like a 1/2 inch nipple, but actually it's a 3/8 inch nipple. So what I went to go do was I got a 3/8 inch FIP to OD compression fitting, and I got the same corner one that I got over here, the exact same piece. And then since I had a nipple, but since it was my last 3/8 inch nipple, I bought another nipple just to have on hand. I always say have some Teflon tape on hand just in case. You could pick the small ones up for 48 cents, the bigger ones $1.09. And then I got my cutoff tools. I got the Performax tool to put a jab saw. It works really good, but I wanted some fresh blades for it. So right now I'm gonna get my everything ready, the Teflon tape and everything on these already, before I go ahead and shut the water supply off. And hopefully this one works as good as this one. I'm gonna do it the same way. I'm gonna record it, but I'm gonna record it and fast forward through it because it's doing the exact same thing as this. After I get this one on right here, I disconnect this and the sink should come off. I'm just disconnecting this right here. I should do it by hand, and once this is done, the sink should be able to come off. So we'll see what happens here. Okay, so here's the deal. Here's what I did. The cold water is off. Well, like I said, this is a 100-year-old house, so the cold water is off. Trying to get this focused in here. The cold water is off, but it's not bogged all the way tight. This is the main floor, and I do have a basement. So in the basement, I got the bathroom sink and the basement sink with the water open all the way running. Because if I bog the one all the way down, it's a 100-year-old valve. I'm always afraid it's going to break. So I got it as tight as possible, just by hand, and I put the basement valves on. And if you can see, there's no water coming out of this one. This valve's all the way up. So even though there's water leaking in the basement, there's not enough pressure to get it to this floor. So I'm going to go ahead and try to finagle this one off right here. And then this way I'll go ahead and, this actually looks like it's newer, that has been replaced more recently. So I'm going to try to finagle this one off. Fast forward through this pipe cutter right here. This is going to go around here to cut this pipe right here because this top one is rusted on pretty good. All I do is tighten it up, turn it about 3 times, tighten it up again. It's almost through already. See, cut through the pipe already. It's a tiny pipe cutter. And that pipe so it's not, there you go, that one's open, and that one that way. I'm trying to get these past each other so I can pull this one up. So I'm trying to do. And you'll see the sink actually move that time. Come on, work with me here. It's stuck on the tip of this. If I actually cut a little bit more of this, it'll come right out. There, it's off. See? That one and that one. Now I gotta take this off right here. This is the new fitting I'm gonna go ahead and put on. Then after I put this on, I could actually put the, after I put this on, I can put the water back on and shut this off. You would not effing believe this. Can you see me? You would not effing believe this. Ran all the way to the store for nothing. Went all through this crap for nothing. That's why I always say I have extra pieces. The hot was 3/8 inch. The cold is 1/2 inch. So I had the extra piece of the 1/2 inch here, so I'm going to put the 1/2 inch back on. Can't freaking believe it. I always say I have extra stuff on hand for doing anything plumbing, because if I didn't have this 1/2 inch on hand, I'd have been asked out. My problem now, I'm going to have to take the sink off because it won't fit. It won't fit. Let me see if I get that off right there. Start taking that off. Okay, it should fit that way. There it goes. It's nice and snug right there, so I'm gonna do one more round and get that exactly where I want it to be, and that should be good. Okay. Let me dry it off so when I turn the water on, I can see if there's any leaks. Alright, I'm back. I'm underneath here, and no leaks at all. This is shut off. You know what I'm going to tell you since I'm down here? These valves right here. These valves cost $2 more, and this is a small ball valve is what it is. Quarter turn opens it fully up. Another quarter turn shuts it all the way off. Don't get those cheap plastic ones that you got to keep going like this or keep going like this. Get these right here. These are the good valves. I'm going to say this in the beginning too. Go back and say this, alright? So this is off, so now I got to take this fitting off right here. I'm going to go get a bucket. Okay, all the water lines are done. Now I got to take off this line right here. You see how there's caulk around it? This is because the old ass sink was leaking as it was. But this line right here physically detaches everything now. Everything is detached except it's hanging on the wall, and that's it. Get this down. In a 100-year-old house, you don't want to mess with this pipe too much. As you can see right over here, the tin going into the wall had a crack in it. and I went over it, and all I did was siliconed on PVC over the other thing, and it actually stopped the leak. Okay, well that just broke right off. You see that? That broke right off. Okay. Okay, everything now, I have everything disconnected from here. It is very loose already, so it should be able to come right up. I don't know how heavy it's gonna be, so might come up and just slam down to the ground. I don't know, we'll see. Okay, there's the back of the sink right there. The sink is now off. We're walking out here. Okay, so the sink is off. Now that's the next bar that we got to deal with there. And this is what was holding into the wall, and it's three of them. Three flatheads that was holding it into the wall. And this was an actual wall. This was just built up behind it. So what I'm going to have to actually do is kind of sand it to make ends meet here. This was the actual wall. I mean, it was screwed onto the wall, and this was just all built up behind it. So I could probably get away with just sanding all that down, sanding it down. So I'm going to go ahead and start taking this off right now. The screws. Okay, that bar actually has a part number on it. 990. Can't tell what that is. H. That right there, heavy duty, that's what was holding the sink in. Bob's your uncle, it's done. Yeah, right, this ain't even connected, this is just set in place. I'm gonna actually take this out the bathroom because my wife would rather it in so she could get ready and everything in the morning tomorrow morning. But what I still have to do is the back. I could either just sand this as best I can and put a backsplash right here, or else just go ahead and sand it smooth and everything. And the walls were actually had this checkerboard pattern on them. You could see it painted over, but where they were repaired, it was smoothed over like this right here. So what I'm probably gonna do is level this off. I still got all this caulk and this lip around here. Level that off, and I'm probably just gonna go over with joint compound. At the bottom of it, the reason why I put it in place is because I cleaned most of it. I didn't clean everything down here that I was working on. See, it's off the wall. It gotta sit on the wall, so I have to line those spaces right there with a pencil and then use a jab saw to go ahead and cut them off. So right now I got the sink out. That's taking the sink off. I'm gonna have putting the sink on in part 2. I'll go ahead and get this all uploaded. Thanks for watching. Like I says, be sure to get these right here, these shutoff valves, because these shutoff valves are $2 more, $1.50 more. They work better than the cheap plastic crank ones, and these are ball valves, but for under the sink. This is a 115-year-old house, I think, 120-year-old house. So every time I do anything plumbing, there's no shutoff valves anywhere. I always put shutoff valves after everything I do. The bathroom, right now, the basement, I'll have one hot shutoff valve for the whole water, and there was no cold shutoff valves. Actually, there's a cold shutoff valve for the sink, I think. So, I mean, for the tub. But now there's, shutoff valves for this sink right here. Shutoff valve for the cold in the bathtub. I got shutoff valves on the kitchen sinks. Shutoff valve on the boss. Put shutoff valves everywhere you're working, all right? And you get the good ones. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.